Hello and welcome to week 2 of the Beachcombing Blanket crochet along. I'm Eleonora, the designer behind Coastal Crochet, and all the details about this blanket can be found over on my blog, Coastal Crochet, and the links are in the description below. So this is a tutorial to accompany the written pattern for week 2. I've broken the tutorials down into shorter segments, so have a look to see which round you're wanting help with, and if you want help with the whole square, then watch all the tutorials in order. I hope you find them useful. So moving on to round 8, and we're going to be creating a square around this circle. It looks quite nice on its own, and this would actually make quite a nice coaster or something. Really like this design as it is, but to contribute to our blanket we need to make it into a big square. So in round 8, what you need to do is imagine a square around this circle. So you want to make sure that you're not going to be creating a square where the ammonite's going to be looking like this or looking like this. So imagine a square around this sort of central shell ammonite, and you're going to be joining yarn E into the outer right side, which will be your first corner. So I quite like my ammonite to be a bit like this, and so here, this is where I want my first corner to be. That's where I'm going to be joining yarn E. So I'm going to be joining my yarn around here. This is where I want my first corner to be. And we're crocheting into a round of half treble stitches. And as you know from previous rounds, there are 3 strands, loops to the top of these half treble stitches. At the start, we just crocheted into the one back loop to create this lovely spiral effect for our shell ammonite. But this time we're going to be crocheting into the back 2 loops. So insert your hook into the back 2 loops of that half treble stitch, leaving a strand to the front of the work. And we're going to join with yarn E. So we're going to make 4 chain. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this counts as our first double treble, which is a US treble stitch of this next round. And if you look at the instructions, it says 1 double treble, 2 chain, 2 double treble into the same stitch. This is how we're going to create our first corner. And a double treble, US treble stitch, is where you wrap the yarn over the hook twice, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull to the front, you have 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's our first double treble US treble stitch. Now we make 2 chain and do 2 further double treble stitches into that very same stitch. So that's 1, and this is going to be 2. And this is our first corner that we've created in this next round. And so if you look at the instructions, it's 1 double treble, that's the US treble, in each of the next 2 stitches, remembering to go into the back 2 loops, the back 2 strands of the stitches, leaving that strand to the front. So 1 double treble, US treble, in each of the next 2 stitches. That's 1, and this is 2. Into those back 2 loops, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And now if you look at the instructions, we're going to do 1 treble in each of the next 2 stitches. Again, all the way around we're going to be working into the back 2 loops. So 1 treble, that's a US double crochet, in each of the next 2 stitches. It's 1, and this is 2. And then if you look at the instructions, it's 1 half treble in each of the next 2 stitches. So half treble is a US half double crochet, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, got 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. And now looking at the instructions, we have 1 double crochet, that's a US single crochet, in each of the next 5 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now it's 1 half treble, US half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. It's 1 and that's 2. 1 treble, US double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. That's 1 and that's 2, and then a double treble, US treble in each of the next 2 stitches. That's 1 and this is 2, remembering to go behind those back 2 loops and strands. And now if you look at the instructions, it's 2 double treble, 2 chain, 2 double treble, all into the next stitch. And what we're doing here is we're creating our second corner of the square that we're making to go around this circle. So we'll finish the stitches and then I'll show you what it looks like. So that's 2, then we make 2 chain, 1, 2, and then 2 more double treble, US treble stitches into that very same stitch. So that's 1 and this is 2. 1, 2, 3, there we go. And if we have a look, you can see you've created a corner there with the straight edge and another corner on the other side. And this is the square that we're going to be creating around our circle. And if you look at the instructions, it says repeat from star 3 times. So go back to where the star is in the written instructions and repeat from there 3 times all the way around. So I'm just on my final repeat and I've got 1 more double treble US treble stitch to do in the last stitch of the round. And if you look at the instructions, it says to end the final repeat at star star, and that is where we are now. We've just finished our final 2 double treble US treble stitches, and you can see we've created this square going all the way around. And now we slip stitch to the top of the first 4 chain that we made, 1, 2, 3, 4, slip stitch to the top of that 4 chain, inserting your hook under both strands and work a slip stitch. And there is the end of round 8. We fasten off before going on to round 9. So at the end of round 8 we should have 21 stitches on each side plus the corner chain spaces. So if you find your corner chain spaces, there's one here, there's one there, there should be 21 stitches in between those spaces. And now we can move on to round 9. So to start round 9, we join yarn D into any corner chain space. So insert your hook into any corner chain space and join with yarn D. And then we make 3 chain, which counts as the first treble US double crochet stitch of this next round. And if you look at the instructions, it says 1 treble, so US double crochet, 2 chain, 1, 2, and 2 further treble US double crochet, all into that same corner chain space. And there we've created our first corner of this next round. And then round 9 is essentially just a very simple round of treble US double crochet stitches. So it's 1 treble US double crochet in each stitch to the end of the side. And then at the corners we work 2 treble, 2 chain, 2 treble, and then on each side 1 treble US double crochet in each stitch, and do this all the way around. And here we have the end of round 9, a round of ordinary treble stitches. And if you look between the spaces. So there's a corner chain space and there's a corner chain space. Between those spaces you should have 25 stitches on each side going around. And so now we move on to round 10. Thank you so much for watching.